This is one of the most influential people, at least in my career in real estate. I have with us in the audience, or in video, Rachel Robin. Rachel is a networker galore. She recently got engaged. We can talk about that. And what I love about Rachel, she's always present. Everywhere I go, every broker preview office I go to or online, there's always this presence of Rachel Robin. So let's get this going, Rachel. I want to bring you in. I want to really enjoy you. I want to have some really good time. And I'd like you to go ahead and give us kind of your elevator pitch. And what this episode is all about, Rachel, is really kind of like, I don't know who you know I am, but just imagine, like, entertain me for this episode. I want to buy a home and I know nothing, like, what is title? Literally like title 101. And give me some stories if that's cool. So I'm going to hand over to Rachel Robbins.
Hi, so Rachel Robin with Corinthian Title, and Corinthian Title is located in Southern California. We do everything in-house. So what does that mean? There are a lot of larger title companies out there. We consider ourselves a boutique luxury title company, and we've got about 250 employees. We cover all of the major counties in the state of California, so you never have to worry about us not being able to do title within the state of California. But the nice thing is that we're very employee and family centric. So Corinthian Title was a choice I made because of the top down. So if I need something, I can call the president. I can call the management team. They will speak to my clients, Kevin. They are there for me, and they have so much knowledge. So that's really what was important to me when choosing a title company. And all my life, I've been in sales, and I don't want to date myself, but probably 15 plus years has been of real estate, and I love all the connections I've made. But why I chose title insurance is because I really have the opportunity to hold an agent's hand to help make dreams come true. And what does that mean? Title insurance is the only insurance that you buy once. All of your other insurances, your car insurance, your health insurance, your renter's insurance, your this and that insurance, are all on a monthly basis. Title insurance you purchase once when you purchase a home. Why do you purchase title insurance? Title insurance protects you from anything that could come about while you own that home. So what we do, running title, means to see the chain of title, who owned title, how it transferred, are there any remaining liens or easements on the property. One such case that the title company helped me with for a client was an easement on a property because someone's pool motor and pool supplies shed crossed over onto the property next door. So there was an easement where they were trying to stop the closing of escrow because the property line was divided. So an easement is basically when something of the property that you're looking to purchase encroaches on the property next door. An easement is put into play, whether it be the city or the county or whoever creates the easement, and you have to abide by those easements. So if you are purchasing a property, you want to make sure title is quote unquote clean. That means there are no liens, there are no outstanding easements, and if so, those are dealt with before close of escrow.
Okay, so Rachel, I'm a buyer, and I have my agent who's put an offer in for me. How do I get a hold of you? Where are you in the pipeline of the process? Because now I know I need title to make sure that if the deal goes through, how do I get a hold of you, or what's your association connection to my transaction to buy my dream home?
Absolutely. If you're the consumer, you're the buyer, your agent will be who contacts me, the title person. So I'm constantly networking with investors, with agents, whether they have buyers, whether they have sellers, but you as the buyer would definitely connect with your agent and say, hey, I heard about this Rachel Robin girl. I want to use her. Corinthian Title sounds like a great title company to use. And then they will either say, great, let's use her, or they already know me and they're already using me. So that's another plus.
Right.
But I will say that it's very important who you use for title insurance. And you want to make sure that you've done your research. There are many title companies out there, and the larger ones are fantastic. They've been around forever. But what I love about Corinthian Title, and not to toot my own horn, but what I love about my customer service is that it's all based on relationship. I'm there for you, whether you need to find a house for somebody, or an agent is asking me to help them find an educational program for their child to keep them busy. Like, I am your friend. I am part of your team. I am not just your title rep.
Got it. So I'm the client. So I don't, unless I know you personally because we're related or we're friends or family. However, you're not the kind of person I would contact. That would be my agent who I'm trusting with
your agent
bringing me a top-notch title person, because you make or break the deal. If the title's all messed up on purchasing that home, it's not going to happen. And you know who I answer to, Rachel? I answer to my wife. At the end of the day, if she wants it home, it's more of, maybe it's a smart decision, but most of the time she likes it because it's pretty or beautiful. She's emotionally driven when it comes to purchase, which I love, because that's what makes her happy.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So one thing I can tell you to be sure of is, as a buyer and as a savvy buyer, make sure that your agent is ordering what's called a preliminary title report upon listing. So if there is a listing and there isn't already a preliminary title report, and what that does is shows you the chain of title, where it's located on the plat map, and many different things about the property, making sure that that property is clean before you get into a transaction is really what's most important.
Okay.
And that title protects you for the length of time that you own that property. Your title policy is good should you keep it forever and transfer it to family members. That's the only time that a new title or a reassessment might be needed.
So Rachel, let's talk business now, because this is business. This is why we have this show, this channel. How does it benefit you if it's only a one-off fee? There's no monthly subscription. There's no annual installment. How do you make money staying in title when it's only like a one-off fee, Rachel?
Oh, Kevin, that's a great question. I hustle. So now you know why I've built so many strong relationships, because I want to be their title of choice. I want to hustle for my clients, because that ultimately, it does come down to business, and it does come down to making money at the end of the day, so that I can support people like family and friends and my clients as well. So how I feel is that building a relationship is going to be the most important thing. Making money in title, you're only making as much as you are forming relationships. So you can sit back and expect agents to just come to you. That's not going to happen. You really need to hustle and get out there and show value. So the value that my company provides, from a farming sense, from a data sense, from being able to, connect various agents together and form deals, that's really where it comes into play as to who you're using for title. I am the vice president of sales for Corinthian Title, but we have multitudes of reps in different areas. So just because cover my area, we have amazing reps that cover other areas. So me personally, it's all about relationship, and there is a ton of title competition out there. There are people that have been doing this longer than I've had a career.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
So I get that. I get that. And excuse me?
when I go to broker preview, there's more affiliates than there is agents. So there's more title, escrow, lenders, lots of lenders. So I know there's staunch competition for you, Rachel.
Yes.
And agents really, they kind of have the pick and choose of who they want to work with. So for you, you're right. It's very relationship based.
Absolutely. And that's why I like to tell my clients to consider me part of their team. When you're going into, so you're an agent and you're walking into a listing presentation, Corinthian Title is the only one that has what we call a VIP package for you that will give your potential seller more information that they've ever seen. Not only that, but will help you in your business transactions with them, because instead of you having to do research, we provide you every property that that individual owns. So we provide you a list of their portfolio. Not only that, but we go a step further to reassure them by running your license to let them know that, hey, there are agents out there that you may have talked to on the phone, but they could be in legal trouble. They could not be as reputable as some others out there.
Yeah.
So I've gone and put all my cards on the table.
One thing that I know that I thought didn't exist, but it does exist, sadly enough, Rachel, is child support. Some agents do not pay their child support.
Yes.
So their license gets
Yes.
suspended or revoked. I'm like, that's your responsibility. If you have children with your partner, with your lady, I mean, that's you're done, buddy. You stand up and you be a man and you take care of that responsibility. And I know some agents that they've ignored that, try to do business when their license has been suspended. Honestly, it's quite pathetic. It's very sad.
It is very sad.
I don't feel sorry for them. If you have children, it's your responsibility. You take care of it. It's not mine. It's not the state's. It's not the school system. It's yours. At the end of the day, I don't feel sorry for you. I hold you responsible for your actions.
Agreed. And I think that it's so important that you make sure as a consumer out there that you're working with agents that are very reputable and, you know, have a clean legal record, so that you don't get involved with anybody that could ultimately take advantage.
Beautiful. So Rachel, can you give me a few scenarios where you've dealt with some interesting situations? You don't mention names.
Oh my gosh.
Just give me scenarios.
There are so many different scenarios. I think every day is something different, but let's say that the title is in a trust.
Yes. Okay.
And
what is a trust? What is a trust? Because I've been asked that before. What is a trust? I've been asked that before.
So a trust is basically, it's an account of all of the assets. Mm-hmm. So you can probably dive deeper into what a trust is, because I'm sure you have one.
Because I was actually asked this. I was actually asked this week. So a trust could be when somebody passes away, they leave all of their assets into a think of it as a corporation. So that mm-hmm. corporation isn't a real human being. However, it has ownership of several properties. Now you've got kids that inherited that trust, that corporation. Now want to split it up. So you really get lawyers involved and so forth. However, it's it is in a sense an umbrella corporation, if you want to call it that holds all of these assets that have to be divided equally or traded or sold and so forth. I mean, so sold, the assets have to be sold in order to split the inheritance.
Absolutely. And it's so important that you have that trust, or, you know, living trust as they have now, because you don't want your children to be, you know, horribly taxed or lose the ability to have control over the property or the well-being of your assets. Right. Yeah, so the estate. So the most common thing is getting names taken on or off of a trust. So that trust can have many family members, but if cousin Bob isn't wanted in that trust anymore, then grandma has to tell everyone, we need to remove cousin Bob. And that's something that title can do, or an attorney can do. They can absolutely remove the name from the trust. But oftentimes you need to put a new name on title. There's been so many different instances where I've had a client say, oh my gosh, my client isn't going to receive her Social Security if she doesn't get her name on title before this closes. So her daughter's name was on title, but hers wasn't. So we had to rush and put her name on title and get the county recorder to record. That's another thing, another step. And once that was done, then of course she could receive her benefits because she was the owner of that property. So on title, oftentimes with divorces, that happens as well. You get divorced, you break up the assets, but the former partner is still on title. So oftentimes the person that remains in the home wants that title, her or his name removed from title.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, honestly, I call it like the 1E, 1,000 events in somebody's life.
So many, thousands and thousands. You know, businesses, they're saying now, make sure that if you do own a lot of properties, to have an LLC so that you're not taxed, you know, as high. And oftentimes they don't have an LLC. So we have to make sure that they have the attorney present to, you know, create the LLC and help them do all those documents. And then of course the LLC is added to title. So title really is the holder of all the information for whatever entity or person owns the property.
It's not insurance. There's not insurance on the home. It's just clear title where
title insurance. It's called insurance though because it is purchased when you first buy the property, and it extends the length of ownership of the property to ensure that everything that was stated in the title policy is correct. So let's say that cousin comes back and thinks that they're still part of the trust and still on title. It will say, no, you do not own a portion of my home and you are no longer on title.
Right.
So it really assures you that no tax collectors can come collect for taxes that may have been on the property with a different owner, no liens. Wow. It just makes sure that it's completely clean and you have a clean slate to start the ownership of your property.
Absolutely. Do you have any, like, give us a nightmare scenario, Rachel, like nightmare, like just out of this world, like you never saw that coming. I know you have a lot of them. Just give us one.
Well, let me tell you, currently with COVID, condo in escrow, and the trust, the mother is not on title currently. It was messed up where the trust had maybe her husband and her husband passed away. We need to put her on title. She's in assisted living. They are locked down. So wow. The nightmare is we are just beginning in the state of California to start discussing the legality of a virtual notarization.
Yeah,
because
absolutely. That makes complete sense. This is the 21st century, Rachel. It's sad that we have to be having this discussion. But again, you know, that's a sad truth.
But what a crazy situation that this will be held up until someone is able to get into that assisted living, or until our government approves, and our county recorder, because it does go by county, until LA County Recording Office approves the mobile notarization for this woman to be put on title.
Wow. Wow.
So that is a nightmare situation that is happening right now, where these people cannot go through the sale. They have their buyer, they're completely ready to sell, and it's sitting stagnant.
That's amazing. That's unbelievable, Rachel. I mean, it doesn't make me angry. I'm just, you know, I'm disappointed, Rachel, myself. That's why I would like to make a difference. And I'm not really venting. It's sad that we have to have these pandemics to really realize how backwards we are. You know, that now we're held up people's lives are held up because of a situation like this. Yeah, nobody saw this pandemic coming. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that it's interesting that we have to have the situations happen for us to realize, oh, okay, well, there's another solution. So I guess, there's a reason things happen.
Yeah, and typically the most nightmarish title situations come from frustration or anger between family members or business partners. So just trying to figure out who is going to be on title, and ultimately, if they make a decision that they don't want to approve the transaction, somebody that is completely distant but has their name as part of the
Wow.
entity on title and stop the entire transaction.
Yeah. And mainly because it's an emotional decision.
Very emotional.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Just like you said, your wife makes the decision based on emotion. Of course, it's where you're going to live. It's where you're going to raise your family as a residential transaction.
yeah, I have us living in a multi-unit. She's like, she wants a nice home. Yeah, you're all right. Rachel, let's kind of do me a favor, guys, who's watching this. Please subscribe to the channel, first of all, to Legends Self-Mastery channel. It's all about business, wealth, and technology. And then the second is just hit the like button. That helps the analytics in YouTube, and it really kind of gets me some ranking. So please, if you enjoy this video, I would appreciate that. Rachel, I want to end soon, but I want to kind of give us one more scenario that was like out of this world, abnormal.
You're really looking for out of this world abnormal.
Maybe I'm stretching, and I'm just trying to think of something that really kind of like shook it for you. Like, wow, okay, I didn't see that one coming.
I'm trying to think. Oftentimes I refer those to my title team.
Yeah.
Let me see.
Well, what's the common cause in title to stall the process, Rachel, that I can be aware of as a buyer? So it's not like a shock. It's like, oh, okay, well, that's kind of part of the process.
Oftentimes easements. So, okay. So I have a client, a friend that is selling their home. They are on a slanted lot, meaning they're not on a flat lot.
Yeah.
So there are easements that have been created by the city for phone lines. So phone lines run underneath the property. Well, an investor wants to buy this property and completely remodel this property. So the easements for the phone lines weren't showing up. They were showing up on the plat map and they were showing up as an easement, but we had to get the city to dig out the old maps. They weren't even available to go back to the 70s and see when these phone lines, where these phone lines ran. And ultimately, the buyer, who was the contractor, was like, I'm out. This is taking too long. It took months. And my friend was trying to sell the property, but because it was not a flat lot that was easy to develop, this happened. So make sure if there are any easements in that preliminary title report that you have a hold on them, that you have either spoken to the city yourself, had your agent go down there, spoken to a contractor. It could be a soil issue. It could be so many different things that can stall, but that easement issue actually killed the deal.
Right. I've been in a scenario before where they wanted to build a wall around the perimeter of the property, and because of power lines in the ground, they couldn't. So
these were, I believe, telephone poles that would inhibit the expansion. So there was a large lot, but the telephone lines ran. I don't know how they run cables necessarily, but you see them in the sky, but there also is a lot of activity going on underneath.
Absolutely.
So
Rachel,
that was an unfortunate one.
Yeah, exactly. I want to end it here. I also want to let everybody know that if you want to know more about title, or if you're just curious, or if you're buying a home and you're looking, can they get a second opinion from you, Rachal? Or do they have to go through the... Guys, contact Rachel. Don't be scared. I've got many relationships with many titles and many affiliates and so forth. And, you know, I always go to the expert. I don't know everything. That's impossible. That's silly to predict. Well, what I do know is if you have a really good question I don't have the answer to, I will seek an expert that I know, that I trust, will lead me in the right direction. So, Rachel, I'll put your details in the description box below that they can reach out to you. And guys, don't be scared. If you, and even let's say you're interested in getting into the title industry, contact Rachel, because at the same time, it's an amazing business. You're changing lives and you're making dreams a reality. Rachel, let's Fame in the background. Rachel, let's leave with this. Give me one go away that you can leave us with in this pandemic, and just a kind of a little nugget giveaway.
You know, guys, whatever business you're in, it's not necessarily title or real estate. Just know that we're all in this together, that people are still buying and selling properties. Businesses are still functioning. I know a lot of doors have closed, but fortunately, this is one that's still open. And if you get up every day with the mindset of A, I'm going to make a difference in someone's life, or B, I'm just going to do the best I can do, that's all you can ask of yourself. This time is tough, but if you have the mindset of helping people, it will come back tenfold.
Goodness me, that's how we end it. That's like action, that's cut, that's done. Rachel, has been amazing. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your effort. Hey, I'll keep you posted. We'll speak very soon. And let's do a follow-up interview in the near future.
Yes, thank you so much. And just good luck to you and your family. Stay well, stay healthy, be successful. I'm here for you, whatever you need.
Thanks for being so awesome, Rachel. We'll speak soon.
Okay, take care.
Cheers. Bye-bye.